Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another big 2024 election update. We've got big stuff. New polling and internal data has revealed that Biden is basically hated in every single state except maybe California, Massachusetts, DC. I mean, it's really bad. Even the liberal states now coming out and saying that Biden's done a horrible job. Approval rating per state is what I'm referencing. We're going to get to that. But first, we've got The View coming out, and they're saying that Donald Trump is going to cancel The View if he's elected. And you know what, guys? I did just see Donald Trump give a speech, and apparently Donald Trump has said, and he's confirmed, that he will be sending the MSNBC anchors and television hosts to a Russian internment camp. So this is huge stuff. Donald Trump, he's so evil and disgusting. He's come out and said the MSNBC people, all of them, anyone affiliated with that network, will be sent to a Russian slave camp. And obviously Trump, he's basically Russian at this point. I'm sure he's going to build him. I mean, this stuff is just so ridiculous. These, like, when it comes to The View, I would not give them attention. They want attention, that's it. Let them scream into a void. That's my opinion on them. We've got Biden struggling to speak. And so this is what I was talking about, the whole thing with Obama. Oh my God, they come out and clutch their pearls and say, it's edited, it's AI. There's 3 clips a day about Biden messing something up, just showing how old he is. And he had like a stutter where it was like, he said, like 100 times in a row. It's just, there's 3 or 4 clips a day now. It's getting really bad because he's had to come out. They've brought him out because they're desperate. They're losing every poll, and now he's showing just how old and feeble he really is. And it's not like this is even a question, like that's why I didn't even react to the Obama stuff where Obama's leading him off the stage like he's a senior citizen, embarrassing him. And then the left tries to cover that up and say, no, it's AI. There's like 5 clips a day about him doing things that's just, he is not fit to serve 4 more years. I mean, I did say 4 years ago that he wasn't fit to serve, and that, like, what is the actual plan here? I think they screwed themselves with Kamala Harris. She's extremely disliked. They cannot insert her. There could be a strategy to where they drag Biden across the finish line, maybe with the help, with the mail-in ballots, all of that. They drag him across the finish line. Kamala gets inserted after about a year because Biden's not going to be able to finish the term. And then they insert possibly maybe a Gavin Newsom. But apparently a lot of liberals, the top Democrats, they don't like Gavin Newsom. He's very divisive. What happened with California, the recall, the COVID stuff against DeSantis, where DeSantis annihilated him. It's really bad. So now maybe like Shapiro out of Pennsylvania, or like a lower ranked Democrat who's more likable, possibly comes in, B's the VP. Kamala says, I'm not going to run in 2028. I'm done. And Shapiro ends up running in 2028. Something like that could happen to where they exchange power a few different times if Biden were to win. Secret Service agent robbed at gunpoint during Biden's California trip. And it backfires on them. You've got Biden visiting liberal California, all of the crime. There's nothing done in terms of laws to stop it because it would be deemed racist to actually enforce the law and arrest people, because it would skew more so in terms of arresting a lot of minorities. And so you reap what you sow, I guess, when it comes to their Secret Service agents now in California. Remember, they put the thing on the car. It's like, please don't steal. There's nothing in here. This is the United States of America. What are we doing? That is horrible, horrible, horrible leadership. And they won't change it. It's like, you see stuff like that. It's a third world country. And no one talks about it on the news. This is ridiculous. People are forced to put signs on their car saying, please, this is a stick shift. You're a dumb criminal. You don't know how to drive a stick shift. What are we doing? My goodness. And with Biden, with the Secret Service, apparently it's come out now that Biden just has loads and loads of baby powder delivered. There's like 4 or 5 pallets of baby powder out on the White House lawn. The Secret Service is like, what the fuck is all of this? Well, apparently it's for the big guy, as Hunter would say. We've got Biden coming out and not only double, triple, quadrupling down on allowing illegals into the country. Apparently, when it comes to the amnesty, there are some clauses to where, if you look at this thread, I'm not going to go through it because there's 8 different tweets or posts, whatever you want to call them. But if you go through there, there's some stipulations. If you're married to a legal immigrant or an American citizen, I should say, you get immediate, you get a path to citizenship. The issue with the illegal immigrants, there's a clear incentive for liberals to get these people an easy pathway to citizenship. And to be fair, when it comes to America, generally, getting citizenship is a hard thing. They're trying to make it a lot easier because they know that's a big voter block for them. And they're seeing the Latinos who they used to count on and the black males, they're starting to shift away. Now, with black men, it's like 30%, 35% support for Trump, which is crazy high. And the Latinos, especially in lower states like Florida, the support has gotten crazy for Trump. They've got to supplement that somehow, and they're trying to fast track the illegals into becoming citizens under the guise of, we're good people, it's America, we want to let everyone in. And of course, it's such just a disingenuous thing to say. Of course, you have to vet them, and then sure, they can come in, but there's a clear incentive behind allowing illegals into this country and getting them a pathway to citizenship ASAP in terms of the Democrats very likely getting their vote. If an illegal immigrant becomes a citizen, I would say there's an 80, maybe 85% chance that illegal, if they vote, I'm not saying illegals are crazy in terms of their political views. A lot of them probably won't vote, but there's a much higher chance they would vote liberal. That's the point, and that's the incentive structure that we have here in America, to where they're not putting our safety first. They're trying to remain in power, and to do that, they want to get a lot of these illegals into the country. They stopped Trump's policy. The catch and release is just so ridiculous. Oh, you're illegal. Let me catch you, and then I'll release you and give you a court date in 5 years, and if you don't show up for it, don't worry. It's like, come on. It's ridiculous. And there's no background checks either when it comes to these people. Secret Service says it destroyed tape of Biden's dog splattering agents' blood at White House. Apparently, Biden's dog has bit like 50 different Secret Service members, and he won't get rid of it. Listen, I love dogs, but when like 70 or 80 different Secret Service members get bit, the dog needs to be trained or something. It's at the White House. You would think they could get it some training. We've got Joe Scarborough saying that Donald Trump will walk across the stage and grab Biden's mic, get in his face when the moderators mute him. It's just more fear-mongering. Obviously, Trump is going to do none of that. This is all performance by these people. They have just gotten so desperate. This is crazy when you think about it. These people have said year after year after year after year, Trump is this horrible, racist, fascist, and he's winning every poll. So either America, we just must be a horrible, racist country. Oh yeah, we're just terrible. No, we're just racist. We're horrible. That's fine. Yeah, that's really what it is. Maybe these people need to stop fear-mongering and understand that Biden at this point, the independent people, obviously leftists will still vote for Biden, but the independent people are starting to realize that it's so ridiculous. Biden is clearly not fit to serve, and they've trapped themselves because is it either going to be Biden or Kamala? Well, you'd rather have Biden with the incumbent advantage, but really both of them are bad. We've got this report coming out. I wanted to show people this because I've already seen this several times, but it's just crazy. So if you make $1 million a year in California, you are getting taxed, it looks like, at around like a 53 to 54% rate. So you're making less than half, or you're bringing home less than half in terms of your taxes. That is just, oh no, excuse me, I got that wrong. The taxes, take home pay $527K. So it has been reported though, there's like a 54% tax rate for the upper bracket in California. This is a little bit less. This is like 47, 48%, maybe 49%. It's just ridiculous. I mean, California in terms of the cost of living is already so crazy. I don't know how people live there. It's unbelievable. You've got this. Yeah, so this is just desperation. This dude, this is a blatant lie. The community notes. Yeah, so this dude, his name is No Lie. I remember this dude. This is the dude that looks like the adult film star from like 3 or 4 years ago. He was like a news reporter. I guess he's got his own show now. BTC, that's an unfortunate abbreviation because that's Bitcoin. But you can see they're trying to say, oh my God, look at Trump. He has to be guided off the stage by one of his security detail. And it's obvious that Trump is just, as he's walking by, and by the way, Trump was walking at a pretty brisk pace if you look at him. I mean, he looks good here. You can see he's walking at a brisk pace. He says, there it is. He shakes the dude's hand. And then he continues to walk, and he looks good. So obviously the desperation, it's sad. It really is. It's like, well, you could make fun of it. It's just sad. Biden's problems versus 2020 are nearly all with lower propensity voters. And it's not clear to me that Democratic leaders, so see, the low propensity voters, those voters were not voting for Biden. They were voting against Trump due to all the fear mongering. That's really what was going on. It wasn't like those people were motivated to vote for Joe Biden. They were just voting against Trump. That voter block that Biden is relying on is very unstable in terms of actually showing up to the polls. You can't count on something like that. Everyone expects it to be a much lower turnout in terms of numbers in general. Obviously, 2020, I mean, what did Biden get? Both Trump and Biden, I think, got record number in terms of votes. A lot of that was with the mail-in crap, things like that. It's like the biggest election ever. They made 2020. And 2024, it's just not going to happen with Biden's approval rating, with how old he looks. He can barely talk. I would expect a lot of those people that voted in 2020 because they were fear-mongered into voting against Trump, they will not be voting in 2024, and that could doom Biden, especially in swing states where he only won a state like Georgia by 0.2%. This is what I was referencing at the beginning of the video. Biden's approval is underwater, except for California, Maryland, Massachusetts, New York, and Washington state. And I would also expect Washington, D.C., but I don't think they tracked it. Tracking Biden's approval rating in all 50 states. So even a state like Oregon coming out and not approving of Biden. Obviously, they're still going to vote for Biden, but it is just crazy. California, the only dark green thing on the map. Even states like New York, seemingly almost like 50-50 in terms of approval rating for Biden. That is, even Illinois is in the negative. Now, obviously, he's going to win Illinois, too. There was a new poll out of New Mexico that had Biden up by 7 or 8 points I saw earlier. So I do think he's going to win New Mexico as well. But even Hawaii, he's in the negatives as well. Rewatching the VP debates from last fall summer, Doug Burgum won them handily. It's clear he had the best IQ on stage. Listen, people are going to try and swing this. I remember those debates. Doug Burgum sounded like a third grader reading from a script. But look, I'm not gonna diss Doug Burgum. It's clear Trump wants a lapdog. He wants someone that's not going to run in 2028. And if that is true, he's eliminating J.D. Vance, because I'm sure J.D. Vance would have definitely ran a campaign and started a campaign to run in 2028 if Trump chose him to be the VP and then Trump wins. Vance definitely has aspirations. Doug Burgum probably doesn't. That's why it looks like Trump's picking him. That's what's being reported. I think Ben Carson is in a similar spot to where there's probably no aspirations. If he does pick someone like Tim Scott, I think Tim Scott might try and run in 2028, so he might stay away from someone like him. This is a report that came in. Robert F. Kennedy's presidential campaign is on financial life support via Politico, and this has been denied. I think he'll be able to run, but it's not looking good, obviously, for RFK. It's just not going to happen when it comes to an independent candidate at this point. I think maybe in 2028, maybe 2032. The country right now is just so divided, and we're really just wondering, who is RFK going to hurt more, Trump or Biden? Because he's going to get a bigger share than we expect in terms of a third-party candidate. There's actually a legitimate one this year, and he will be getting in certain states 5, 6, 7%. Can he win a state? It's very unlikely. I think an only state that RFK could win would be like a New Hampshire that has a very low population, and maybe the voting gets split. But even that, it's extremely unlikely that RFK would win. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.